Hello and welcome back. Let's talk today about how to create exporting presets, which I think are a great tool to use. In Lightroom, you import your files and then you do your editing magic on them and then you export your finished file. And that's just kind of the general gist of the workflow. So we're going to look at how to speed up the process of exporting your files, especially when you're working with batches of photos. You're working on a session for a client, you're working on photos from a trip, you have a batch of photos, and they all generally need the same name, but you don't want to have to press the same buttons 30 times or 50 times or 100 times when you can just set it once and forget it. So we're going to look at how to make your own exporting presets, and let's look first at what exporting presets are. So for example, here I am in the library module, so you want to make sure that you're in the library and you have your collection of photos here. I happen to have some up from a recent trip to Salton Sea that was amazing. Love that area. And we're going to click export. I just want to show you what this interface looks like. So when you click export, you have all these great choices to pick from. On the left, you have your list of presets. Now, Lightroom puts some presets in there that are just sort of standard pre-installed presets. And quite honestly, I never use them. You can use them as a base and then create your own, but I never actually use them. And here you have a section for user presets that when you first get Lightroom doesn't have anything in it. But the great thing is you can add as many presets as you'd like here. So you can see I've created some for different clients, for different publications and sites I work with, and then just some general ones for um, Facebook crop for headshots or web-sized or full-sized proofs when I post proofs for clients. So what you want to do is open up this window by clicking on export down here. So you're at this window and you want to essentially go down all these options and make your selections for what you want to save. So originally or typically I save it in the same folder as the original. You can choose specific or you can choose the folder later. And then you have settings for renaming your files. You can do them numbered, so you can do custom settings, you can edit, and you can add different presets for the naming of files, which is actually a pretty new feature that they've added into Lightroom. You can choose your image format, the quality if you want to limit it to a certain size, the color space. Here's the image sizing, resolution. You have various options on how to size it. You can choose to sharpen, and you can choose how much to sharpen and what you're sharpening for. Oops, sorry about that. You can include copyright information or all metadata, or you can include somewhere in between. I usually just do copyright. You can create watermarks, and this is a great feature as well. So you can create watermarks with text, and it gives you loads of fonts to pick from. It also did not give you that many choices before. Or you can add a graphic watermark, which is really great for when you have a custom logo. And then down here is what you want it to do after it exports. So let's say that I'm going to change some of these and I'm going to make it specific folder and I'm going to say 100% quality, short edge at 2000. We're going to leave it sharpened for screen and that's it. So I've gone through, I've selected what I want, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on where it says add. And you first select which folder, and right now I'm only putting stuff into user presets folder, but you can create a new one. So I'm going to leave it at user presets and then you name it. So this one, I'm just going to name it test because it's just for the demonstration purposes. And then you click create. And now you see this test one that I just created on the list. Great thing is you can jump around, and when I click on test again, it will go back to the settings that I just had that I just had them at, that I just set for. And it's really wonderful if you're exporting repeatedly to the same client. If you work with a website, you work with a publication, you work with somebody who has very specific image limitations, and you can be sure to always export to the limit they need without having to remember the numbers. So it's very, very handy. Now, say you've added some presets in here and you're like, you know what, I made a mistake, I made a goof, I need to delete it, or you're no longer working with that client. You can click on it so it's highlighted and then click remove and it will be removed. Now, note it didn't confirm, it didn't say, are you sure you want to remove? So, my recommendation is if you do that, be very, very sure before you click remove because there's no going back. It's just going to be gone. So we're going to go ahead and cancel, and I hope that's been very helpful for you. Export presets are a great thing for very repetitive work and for when you're working with clients with very particular needs. So I hope it's been very helpful for you, and I will see you next time.